Hello again, it's turn number 12. Research and enchantment completed, that's up to level 3, so we have fire shield now, and construction up to 1, that doesn't give us anything, but we're working on construction 2 so we can get rings of water breathing and maybe some items for our pretender. Good old Gorgzilla. We have claimed the Throne of Fortune, so I will go and show you what the Throne of Fortune is about right now. Because I don't think I did that in a previous video. So it increases luck, which doesn't matter because we're at luck 3. Spreads Dominion, which is good. Produces 2 Astral Pearls per turn, which is good. It also caused this worldwide event, luck +1 across the world. So a fun thing for everyone there. Proclamation from Khorne. We've got heating bills go brrrr. Yeah, some more lovely UK humour there. Dawn Pretender Gods are awakening, so we've got to look out for those. And we see a battle in the Swamp of Solitude between Athalor and the Wood Elves, and Indy's a powerful force here from the Wood Elves. So this is going to absolutely mulch these Jaguar tribe. This is lots and lots and lots of just longbows, basically, the Azrai longbows from Scouts and Glade Guards. And then a decent number of the Eternal Guard spearmen, kind of hoplite style spearmen. So I doubt the elves lose anything here. Maybe they lose an Eternal Guard. But their archers just pelting everything. Did they lose an Eternal Guard? Oh, they lost a Deepwood Scout to a sling. Okay, must have got hit in the head. Then we have unexpected event in Rame. Forest Goblin Boss has been promoted to Big Boss. Cathedral of Rock, and Savage Rock Big Boss has got the title of War Boss, so we should see a lot of troops in the Cathedral of Rock because that promotion generates a significant number of troops. Then we have got an unexpected event in New Meclia, Province Income +10. So these are all good events. We're finally balancing out all our bad events from earlier. Where is New Meclia? Okay, down here. So we've got a permanent +10 to our income from that one. So that's nice to have. I feel that these are a bit vulnerable, these provinces, but we'll see. So let's look at what we got from our promotions. So firstly, in Rame, we had a Forest Goblin boss get promoted to a Big Boss, and that gives us a bunch of Forest Goblin infantry. You know, these results are very randomized. A bunch of archers, and then we've also got some Spider Riders, and he's now got 3 squad slots, which is nice. So I'm just going to put them on hold and attack rear and just put them off to the side. And then our other one was Cathedral of Rock, which sounds like a kind of parody metal album, Cathedral of Rock. Grimdreg is our war boss, so he's now quite a powerful single combatant, and he's got heroic toughness, which is good. Is it just hit points or is it protection as well? Just hit points. But yeah, lots and lots of hit points, so that's very nice. I might try and thug him out at some point. And he comes with... Let's move this goblin out of the way. So these are all Orc boys and Savage Orc boys. But then he also gets some big uns. Very nice. Savage Orc big uns. He also gets some archers. And he also gets a tiny amount of boar cavalry. So really significantly stronger, this force, than it was. I think because he's only got 3 leadership slots still, because orcs are not the most tactical leaders or strategic leaders, let's just throw those in with those, and then we'll just have our upfront melee. We now get formations, which is good. We'll have our upfront melee troops. We'll have our attack rear cavalry. He can go on the side with them. Let's put him on hold and attack rear. We'll actually just have them guard commander. He could do with having those guards, and then we've got our archers there. Right, what are we going to do next? We really need to make up our mind. So a really big thing for me is that my only place left to go into is the water. You can see Khorne is in the water here, and I believe they're in the water in this water system as well. We really need to do something about that. So I think above all else, our priority now is getting in the water. And that means rings of water breathing, which is why we're doing construction level 2. Have we got any other ways of getting into the water? We've got some ways, sort of ways from Conjuration, which also gives us summon water power, and then gives us our lesser water elementals, which are very strong in the water. And of course, Conjuration gives you, some things that can go underwater, like crocodiles, crocodiles as I always call them, sea dogs and things. Not ideal, but better than nothing. We really do need to get underwater. So I think what I'm going to do is ignore my fire arrows target for the moment. It is available later on. We'll be doing that. And vile water is another way you can get underwater. I did that in my single player game, but it's not ideal. And we're going to go to Conjuration. And we're going to go to Conjuration level 3 because that's what gives us various useful things, including Summon Earth Power. But it gives us the Phoenix Power to cast the Fire Arrows as well. So we're going to say Construction level 2, Conjuration level 3. That is now our research path. So we still need a lot of research. We also need to get some site searching going to get water gems in particular. So I think we currently have no watery mages. As soon as we do start getting those water paths, they are quite random on these Forest Goblin Great Shaman. But as soon as we start getting those water paths, we'll be sending those off to do their searching. I was considering attacking Slaanesh. I have decided not to for the moment because I'm kind of concentrating on this water goal and on infrastructure. And being in a war is temporarily very expensive and does slow down infrastructure. So we're building palisades here. We're building a temple here as well in Ghent. We're going to build this up fully templed up. We're going to have a temple over here in Dofferos when this palisade's up. So I want to make sure that there is somebody capable of making a temple over there. But I think we've still got 2 months left on the palisades. We've got time to send a researcher over there or someone to build some temples. So he's sacred, so he can build temples. So we're going to send Grishnik over into Dofferos, and he's going to get a temple up for us. So that'd be useful. Elsewhere, I'm just going to kind of move some troops around to just build up the armies that I want. I'm just sending a boss down here to pick up this this boar. And if there's nothing else happening that I've spotted, there's no one leapt into any wars looking vulnerable, I might make a bid on this throne because controlling these 3 thrones would be quite funny. Just grabbing everything. So yeah, apart from that, not really much going on. Oh, I was going to show you what I was going to do with the war boss. I think it really, unless Slaanesh is just so. If I go there, that's very provocative to Slaanesh. Let me put it that way. Moving down here, that really would provoke them. So I think all I really want to do is patrol out some of this unrest. So up here we're going to have Mekrot do the patrolling. We're just going to preach with our prophet for now and just get a few more candles there. Do they have enough troops to do their patrolling? Well, there's little reason that we shouldn't give them more troops, right? We'll just keep the War Boys out of the... Well, no, you know what? They can hold everyone, so let's just do that. We'll just keep a couple back for guarding Listras. Or Listras's Orc Market. So we'll patrol there. Do we have any other hotspots of unrest that we could deal with? We've got a patrol there dealing with that unrest. Grim Dreg. He could patrol where he is, or he could move here and patrol. But if he moves here, he's kind of out of place for doing anything else. I think I kind of want him to just sit there. It's not ideal, but he can just patrol there. I'd like to get my province defense up in a few more places. This is the kind of infrastructure I was talking about. But I've been spending on palisades and temples and things recently. So yeah, a kind of an uneventful turn this. The only other thing that I've got going on is that Gorkzilla, who is helping with research remote, which is really not a good use. He's got terrible inept researcher problems. Really not a good use of Gorkzilla, but I've given him the Sword of Swiftness and the Axe of Hate, so he's now got these significant offensive output that he can do. And I'm wondering if instead of researching, because he gives us 22 research, it's not nothing, but it's not that exciting. I'm wondering if I should just site search here. He's got, it's an okay site searching distribution. We've got a lab there. It's right next to our capital. Yeah, let's do that. So he's going to do a quick site search there. Hopefully he does find something. I was super lucky on this one, and I've got lots of air gems. So we also want to, and we've actually got some, got an air mage here, 2 mage. So we do want to be thinking about what we can do with air magic as well. In Conjuration, obviously, we get up to Call of the Winds, which is useful for patrolling and various other things, and summon less air elementals. So we do have a couple of bits of air magic there. If we look in enchantment, what have we unlocked? We've already got Seeking Arrow, but we don't have any Air 3s, but Gift of Flight is useful. Cloud Trapeze, obviously, at level 4 is very exciting, and can be used for quite a few things. So we definitely will be getting enchantment level 4. Is there anything at these very low levels in these paths? I feel like Alteration has some useful stuff for us. Alteration also, at level 2, gives us Stone Skin from our Pretender, and then Iron Skin, of course. These are good. In air, it doesn't get us anything particularly useful, no, until we're getting up really high. So let's just stick with what we're doing for now, and I will see you next turn. I think there'll be one more turn in this video. We've got time. Hello there. It's turn number 13. So firstly, Gorkzilla, my Pretender, has found a magic site in Iron Range, and it is 10,000 things, one of my favourite sites in the game. It gives you basically one of every gem, so that's pretty cool. We'll have a look at that in a moment. There was a battle in the Great Dunes, that's between Skaven and Nuln, and this is not an expansion bump, this is an expansion bump. This is a real fight. So Skaven are engaging Nuln, they're hitting some province defense here, and we can see their Council Guard, and we also get to see their Bless. So their Bless is pretty heavy. Poison weapons, 5 poison damage. Decay weapons, poison resistance plus 10, so they're probably going to be doing kind of the Skaven equivalent of Foul Vapors up their blood tree, something like that. And Blood Surge. And Blood Surge is active. Is Blood Surge an Incarnate Bless? I think it is, which means their god is active. Yeah, so pretty good. And obviously they're just going to trash this province defense without any issue whatsoever. And that's a lot of Council Guard. That's pretty much all their sacred built from their capital, I would imagine. We get some events. Traveller's Rest. An Orc boss has become a big boss. Numecria. We get 6 air gems. We're doing really well on air gems at the moment. So maybe can do some nice heavy air stuff, cloud trapezing, seeking arrows, things like that. We want to make sure we've got plenty of air casters. Dead Forest, plus 38 unrest from brigands and ruins. We're going to have to root those out, I believe. So I will be rooting those out. They are here in Dead Forest. We're moving Grimdreg over there with his significant force, and he's just going to patrol. I talked to Slanesh, and I have decided that I'm not going to attack them because I am going to go and attack Nuln, since they're under attack from the Skaven to the south, and they're going to be fighting down here. They'll definitely have to react to the Skaven, and we've got the opportunity to secure these provinces and maybe kind of build our border there and take this throne. So that is our plan, to go for that, and also to get underwater. That's our 2 prongs of our plan. So I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time on this turn, but basically profit remains up here, moving plenty of my forces down, and they're going to be doing, patrolling and so on, slowly starting to build up province defense, but we're still fairly poor and we're still spending on infrastructure, so that is an issue. That's just a couple of old boys over there, we're just checking. Ictid production has halted, unfortunately, because we've just needed our money for infrastructure. We are building a temple with our shaman there, and that's because we've got our palisades going up in 1 month, and we can start recruiting extra mages every turn. That's very important. Got a palisade going up here in 2 months, so we're probably going to want to be having a temple over here as well. I was going to move my forces back using Stabby Grot. Yeah, I think I'll just do that. I could just leave him there to build the temple, but I think we don't desperately need another temple there immediately, and we'll send one there shortly. We've got more and more troops coming over here, lots and lots of things moving over, including Gorkzilla, who's moving over to this lab here. And we don't yet have construction level 2, but we will get it next turn and start building things. Got 6 water gems. We desperately want to get underwater. I'm thinking maybe Gorkzilla is not going to be deployed over here, but is going to go and take one of these underwater provinces. And basically that's my plan there. And then, yeah, we need to get our Ictids underwater and do some stuff once that palisade's up. We'll be having more Ictids, and we can go and take some of these on. Tritons, Triton Troopers and Guards, particularly ones with, decent things, shields and stuff, are very hard for Ictids. Kalulus are not particularly hard, and once we're underwater, we can build more troops there as well. So we desperately just need to get underwater and get those, and also be able to win underwater fights. Because we will have people trying to kick us out. But you can see these are high population provinces. This is gold on the table in these provinces. So that's definitely what we want to do. Yeah, I think that basically covers everything. We're recruiting more wild boys. We're recruiting another great shaman because we want more ones. We want to get water level 2, and we also want more air mages. So that's kind of a brief recap of turn 13. So we will have time, because this is a quick one, to squeeze in definitely at least one more turn in this video. So, I will see you next turn. Welcome back. It's turn number 14. Research and construction is completed, so we've got construction level 2. That's going to give us access to a few nice items for our pretender, and also, of course, to water-breathing items in both air and water. But we want to use the water ones; they're better. And then we've got research and conjuration up to level 2, and that gives us. Oh no, sorry, research and conjuration only. Level 1, we just need to finish off that, and then we're going to have level 2. Conjuration level 1 doesn't give us anything that exciting. Tangle vines can sometimes be useful, and we can do sea dogs and crocodiles if we feel we are flush with nature gems and just want to get underwater as soon as possible. That's a possibility. Crocodiles are not terrible. Sea dogs are somewhat terrible, but you can use them on like hold and attack rear, I believe. I think they can do something useful there. Then we see some battles. We've got a battle in Florian, Slaanesh attacking independents. This is their main stack, clearly. We've got a bunch of very scary Chaos Warriors. Some of them have been promoted, and we've got Chosen Warriors appearing. And we can see some very gribbly Chaos Spawn, including a Greater Chaos Spawn there, that's going to run out ahead and probably get chopped to bits. Even though it's quite strong, it's when it's on its own, it's not very tough. And that's probably because it's undisciplined. It's just been allowed to run off. We've got a few other bits and pieces. And they're up against some heavy cavalry, which maybe will kill some Chaos Warriors, and then a bunch of heavy infantry. So this is quite a tough province. The heavy infantry will kill that Chaos Spawn, no problem. Looks like the heavy cavalry are chopping up these Marauder cavalry. There's a Chaos Spawn spitting away there. Corrosive and poison spits. Yes, they lost Marauder cavalry and the rest ran away, and then I think they lost to Chaos Warrior. And the Chosen... we can see they're blessed now. So their bless is morale, shock resistance, poison resistance, fire resistance, cold resistance, magic resistance, regeneration, chill aura 3. Incredibly strong bless, and clearly they are going for the heavy bless here and lots of sacred troops, and they're going to get them promoted up from these Chaos Warriors. So this is very important for us to remember, is these resistances. That's the most important thing. The regeneration, whatever. But these resistances are a problem. None of this gives them resistance to being trampled, though, and they're only size 2. So if we do need to fight them, I think the way we would go is trample them flat. I believe they have... Yeah, they don't have ore, but they do have built-in recuperation. That's the kind of Slaanesh-y perfect style, physical perfection side of things. Chop, chop, chop. Down go the Indies. So they've taken a nice province there, and they only lost to Chaos Warrior, a Greater Chaos Spawn, and a Marauder Light Horseman, so nothing that exciting. Battle in Cormac, we are attacking the Indies here. It's a throne, we're just pinging them. So we can see this is relatively straightforward. We've got some heavy infantry squads and some archers. Quite a lot of heavy infantry overall, and then we've got militia, which we will chop up and will help us to side route them. Mage-wise, they have got low levels, and boots of long strides, but they do have a lot of gems. They could be casting some relatively nasty stuff. I've been fairly lucky here though, because the high blood is not really relevant. We've got some low death there and some more low paths there, and another boots of long strides. So I'm not terribly worried about this. I'm just going to hit it with a big army and smash them up. The mages are not going to be that much of a problem. That's the one down by Nuln, and then in Mammoth Grove we see Skaven Blight is attacking Nuln again. More province defense up against this big stack of sacreds. This is a foregone conclusion, but let's just put it on fast and watch. Very straightforward tactic being used by the Skaven. Hold and attack, bit of blessing, lots of tough troops. Unexpected event in Traveller's Rest. We get another lab, far too many labs being gained here. 3 Astral Pearls, 2 Blood Slaves, and Chi Shoes. Chi Shoes are quite a bad item. They just give you, if you've got a foot slot, you can put them on and you get an extra kick attack. If you are desperate for that, I suppose it's okay. And we've now got our Palisades. So we have Palisades up with our Ictids. I'm going to keep recruiting Ictids of the armoured variety. These guys are much better. The net ones can be useful, but for going underwater, these are better. And we're starting to recruit a Savage Orc Shaman up here, and we will upgrade this fort at some point. But for the moment, slow recruitment of mages is fine. Back at our main place, we are recruiting the Savage Orc Great Shaman. We need to start getting these out. They're 4 commander points each, but they give us the ability to have, of course, Nature 3, which is good for regeneration, and we can get Earth. I'd like to get Earth 2 going with them if we can, and break into that. So we need to keep doing that. Steppengrot's gone mad and is calling God even though he's already around. Possibly heretical behaviour, I think. And we're just repositioning troops because, given the Skaven attacking Null, as we mentioned previously, it's a good opportunity for us to get involved. So we're going to try and keep an eye on what's going on down here, but we're going to go after this throne and then maybe take some provinces. It's not really clear. If Skaven threaten my provinces, they're going to be in for a rude awakening because I fancy my forces would be able to beat theirs. Down here, we see the Dark Elves massing quite a lot. There's probably not quite as many as this is suggesting, but we can see that's a clear massing of stuff. And I don't imagine they've got anywhere to go except for fighting Slaanesh, so probably some Slaanesh and Dark Elf fighting there, but who knows? They can also sail, so they could come and hit us at some point. And the Dark Elves do quite well taking coastal provinces with Corsairs because they've got a mechanic for setting up like a hidden Corsair ports to get them extra hidden income. Right, so what else are we doing this turn? Well, we're moving our Pretender over. Here is Gorkzilla. And so he actually, because he can move and hit any of these provinces, but I don't want to yet, I was going to send him in against the throne, but I'd rather just move a big army, which is why we've got Scumzog moving down here. And we're sneaking in some troops there just so we can see the surrounding provinces, but then they'll just support any attack I do. Gorkzilla, because he's got the Boots of Longstride, can reach from here. So he's going to stay here for a turn and just do research. And the reason he's waiting for a turn partly is because I am forging him some equipment. So I'm forging him over here a horned helm. I am forging him a fireplate. I hope if you are watching you know what those items are, but if not, I'll be able to show them to you next turn. So he'll be getting much better protection and lower encumbrance, which is quite important. His overall protection will be better. Actually, the fireplate is not as good as his current body armor in terms of raw protection, but it is half the encumbrance, which is quite important since we haven't really got any reinvigoration items on him yet. And then we are also, because I have this terrible shortage of mages with a water path. It's really weird. We could start recruiting here because we've got a 1 in 4 chance every time of getting water from Forest Golden Shamans, but we also have a good chance of getting more water here. Like we've got a couple of 1 in 4 chances there. It's just a shame I've only got the one mage with any water, and so they are forging a ring of water breathing. But I'd like to get some more of those going. Anyway, ring of water breathing. So Gorkzilla, with that equipment and the ring of water breathing, can definitely just start taking underwater provinces, and I could leave this to my main army here. If we look at how much stuff we've got, that is a significant lump of troops, and we've got stuff that can attack rear as well. So I think we won't need our god to join in there, and we can instead send him after the Kalulus. And up here, once we've got a few more Ictiids, I want to have around 40 Ictiids. I guess move down and try and help the god take these water provinces, or go and try and take some of these ones. Maybe go here and then aim for that one. That seems like a sensible maneuver, doesn't it? Yeah. I'm kind of just constantly pressed for cash. I really, really want to get my infrastructure going, but I never have enough cash, and now I'm getting more mages out. I just don't have very good scales for it, so I kind of need events to give me some money. We have got a decent amount of territory, though, and we're looking at taking some more down here. And something that I've noticed is just how juicy these water provinces are. I mean, good lord. Look at how much income there. They're like 100 income each. Incredible. That would greatly help our money situation, just taking those 3 water provinces. So, exciting stuff. Right. I think that is everything, except I said last turn I was going to show you the 10,000 things site, and I didn't. So here it is. 10,000 things. Cool name, evocative name. Who knows what that is? Not so evocative sprite, I guess, but this is just very cool. Getting one of each of the elementals and one of nature is a really nice set of gem income for us. And hopefully we're going to get our gem income really supercharged because we've got lots of great site searches. I just haven't really been able to do it because they've been busy trying to get my research going. I mean, I'm sure I'm really behind people on research, but I'm doing my best. We're Orcs and Goblins. We're not known for our book learning. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm going to have time for another turn in this video or not, but I don't think it's going to be a huge turn next turn, so let's just try and squeeze one in. So I will see you next turn. Welcome back. It's turn number 15. Completed our research in Conjuration. That's Conjuration level 2. And we're moving on to Conjuration level 3. We want to get Summon Earth Power and a few other things. Search these one for forgetting but advantage sites. And then we've got some battles. So Khorne attacking Independence. Ooh, big tough line of Khorne stuff here. We've got a Rage Smith with a bodyguard of Chosen Warriors. We've got an Aspiring Champion who's pretty messed up, so that's why he's sitting back. And then we've got a bunch of Chaos Warriors. The Chaos Warriors, they've got stars, they're looking for their promotions. One of them has run out ahead because he's lost an arm, so he's dropped his shield, so he travels a bit faster than the others. So I think he might end up getting killed. And they're just fighting some horse tribe cavalry, so probably only going to take 1 or 2 losses. And they'll just mulch through them. Their armor's just too tough for the horse tribe to deal with. Battle in Deep Gorge Cavern. We've got 2 battles here, so possibly a bump. Wood Elves attacking Deep Gorge Cavern. This is a throne that is in a cave. And it's got a whole bunch of sages in it. Yeah, it's the Sage Throne. And this one's got some, the Lawmaster's got some blood magic as well. So we're going to be having a bunch of mind burns and things going off. And then up front they've got a bunch of sort of chaffy units, some mind burns and things going off. The Wood Elves have brought Orion, King of the Woods, which they get every year. He always comes back. He's immortal. And they've got a bunch of War Dancers. And I think, yeah, they have given them their tattoos because they've got the Shadow Dancer there to give them their tattoo activation. And then they've got a bunch of scouts and things. So quite a few of their scouts are getting killed, but their missile fire is quite good. And the War Dancers are going to chop through these Bakamona without much issue. Over here, these Dryads are in their spring forms. They have a bit of regeneration, which is quite useful against stuff like light infantry. Makes them more durable. But some of them are getting mind burned, and there's some Eternal Guard. So I would expect the Wood Elves win the melee here with some losses. And they've already routed most of this stuff because of the long-range firepower. So let's just speed through the end of this. Yeah, there we go. And the mages are all fatigued out. Get chopped up. But most of the War Dancers died in that battle. 14 War Dancers. They're not cheap either, 25 gold each. Some Deepwood Scouts. So some losses, but they did take it. And Orion did quite well, got 11 kills. And then this is just a bump, a probe. So Khorne was checking on that throne. They've lost their chance to get it. The Wood Elves have got it now. Maybe that'll provoke a fight between them. Who knows? Skaven attacking Nuln again. We haven't seen Nuln fighting Skaven at all. It could just be that we've been missing it, but haven't seen any. So a little bit of province defense here, including, this is very savage province defense, Hoburg crossbows. Very, very cheap. And crossbows are actually very good against the Council Guard. The bless they've got does not help them survive that. In fact, their protection is sufficiently low on where are we? Protection 14, that you can actually shoot up Council Guard with arrows. So I might just be shooting them with crossbows if I end up fighting Skaven. Not with crossbows, with short bows and things. So they take that easily. A couple of events. Swamp of Forgetting, we get a temple and +3 Dominion. Fantastic. That's actually somewhere we've already got a lab, so that's nice. And Wood of Many Paths, a really nice event. So we had a bunch of bad events earlier, and they have been completely equaled out by all of these good events now. Although lots of the good events are of the type of you gain a laboratory, because I've got Magic 3, which is often not that useful to me. This is very nice. Lots and lots of gems, so really a great haul of gems. 55 gold, okay, that's useful. Cauldron of the Elven Halls. Cauldron of the Elven Halls is the item that makes your army look smaller, so it's good for misleading people. And we've constructed our palisades in Ghent. So we've got this throne with the palisades up. We've got palisades up over here, and I will get a palisades up on this throne as well, probably. It's a bit exposed and vulnerable, but I should get to it and protect it at some point. I'm actually moving my profit down to just to preach here, because we've got a hostile dominion there, and I want to keep my dominion nice and high, and that stops Slaanesh having such good dominion here as well, which is important, because Slaaneshi dominion is quite important for them. It makes their demons and things stronger. So this turn, what are we doing? Well, I'm taking my Ictiad army, 32 Ictiads of mixed type with their commander, and they're going to go and fight some Tritons. I think there's like 30 Tritons in this. The estimates have kind of varied a lot. I haven't paid that much attention, so probably I should ping it first. But I got impatient, so I'm sending the Ictiads in, and I really do want to have that province. And I'm doing the same here with Kalulus, except I am sending my Pretender down there to fight the Kalulus. And that should be an easy one. Skeletal body, and then he'll just fight them. Kalulus have bad morale, so his ore should and fear should deal with them. But he's also pretty tough and has got plenty of hit points because he's coming out of High Dominion. There's also turmoil there, so he does get better stats. Yeah, so we hopefully are taking 2 of these provinces, and then we're going to try and take these as quickly as possible. Elsewhere, we're just recruiting more war boys, still getting great shamans and things. Over here, we are still recruiting orc shamans and more war boys. So yeah, not making it TIDs anymore, just really building up a big force of war boys. I could have attacked this throne, but my god, I could have attacked this throne with this force here. But given that this throne is somewhat tough, I decided to just wait an extra turn. So we're going to attack it with both of these armies combined. Unfortunately, even though it doesn't show it, that is a forest province, which means that getting to here is actually a lot more move than you would think, moving through these forests into a forest. And this is a swamp as well. These are not very well represented as forests and swamps, but okay. Yeah, so we'll move our force down there, and then next turn we'll attack the throne, and maybe there won't be anything left of Nuln at that point. It looks like it hasn't gone very well for them. They've just kind of been conquered, but perhaps their army down here is causing some havoc. So we had a scout there. I think I could move to there, but I think I might be better off just moving to Nuln so I can see the surrounding territory, or maybe moving here, see the surrounding provinces. Yeah, I'll move there. Okay, so hopefully we see some more fights and things. Yeah, research-wise, going for Conjuration 3, mostly for Phoenix Power and Earth Power, both very important spells for us. Earth Power particularly good for my Pretenders, give him a bit of reinvigoration, but also the lesser Fire Elemental, lesser Water Elemental stuff. And then once we've done that, we're back onto Enchantment, looking for our Flaming Arrows. We could end up going for Enchantment up to level 5. There's definitely some good watery stuff in there. Horde of Skeletons is good for when we get our D2. We do have some D2 mages. And Foul Vapors. Now, we are a nation that can cast Foul Vapors, and Foul Vapors is extremely good. It's basically too strong in the vanilla game. We have mages that can cast it. I think we've already got... Yeah, so Stabby Grot with 2 gems could already just cast Foul Vapors once we've got it researched. So you can see we will have Foul Vapors casters, and that's important. Although we've seen that Slaanesh has poison resistance on their Bless, and I believe Skaven do too. So Foul Vapors does not work against them, but it could work against some other enemies, and it's a useful tool to have in our pocket. So we're definitely considering that. I have a ton of air gems. I think my best air caster at the moment is only a 2 though. Yeah, can we get an air 3? We could get an air 3, but it's a 1 in 16 chance. Or we could get, yeah, again, 1 in 16 chance. So we can get an air 3, but it's difficult. But we'll keep looking for that. Okay, I think that's everything for this turn, and everything for this video. To recap, not at war with any of our neighbours currently. Our neighbours are... We've got a lot of neighbours. Khorne, Wood Elves, Slaanesh, sort of Dark Elves, because they can just sail over and hit us. Skaven, Nuln. We're going to be neighbours with Dwarfs when we take the throne. Ogres. A lot of neighbours. Don't really want to fight on the diagonals, but I will fight whoever. I think I'm in a good position if I get this throne. Having 3 thrones is very nice at this point, and hopefully this throne will be a bit better for us than the other ones. I think not, though. I think that these level 2 thrones are not giving us stuff that's particularly great. And we're building up our infrastructure, and we've got a fair number of troops. Haven't really lost anything yet, so we're in a fairly good position. Definitely want to get my research going faster. Definitely want to get everything site searched. We haven't really got much site search going. We've got a little bit going now. There's some site searching happening, and we have found some nice sites so that we get good income. But yeah, that's what we're looking for. So immediate next moves, take this throne and start the underwater conquest. And we are going to go hard on the underwater stuff. Our Pretender is going to be taking all of these, and we're going to be pouring money into it to build troops for the underwater bit to kind of secure it. So that's a big mission for us. We could even bring some more troops and things underwater, but at the moment I don't have the water mages free, or the water income to get tons and tons of rings of water breathing, so I'm not going to be doing that. And yeah, I think with Barrel of Air and items, Pills of Water Breathing are construction 4, so we would need to research more construction to do that. Anyway, that's it for now. Hope you've enjoyed watching, and I will see you next time.